What's happening, guys? Kenny here again, and today I've got a different kind of video. This is going to be 2019 in review and what's upcoming for 2020. I did one of these last year at the end of the year, and I think it's cool. It's important to kind of maybe for new subs and old subs just to kind of wrap up what happened this year and what my plans are for the new year. This isn't really a resolution video. I don't really necessarily subscribe to that idea, but I like to change stuff on the go. But I do like to wrap things up and also look at my focus or what I'm going to be trying to do, in the future. So never a better time than the new year. So let's go ahead and talk about a few things. I do have a few notes here, but I'm still going to miss stuff. I didn't write everything down, and it's super scattered anyways, so like my brain is sometimes, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and keep this all together. First things first, I do want to shout out and thank some of my friends, people I've met and become friends with in this community, and there's a lot of you, so I'm gonna miss a lot of people, I'm sure, but I do want to mention some of my friends' channels that have been part of, as you guys know, if you do know, I've been getting on Instagram a lot heavier this year. I think I might have started at the beginning of the year. I don't remember when I started doing Instagram, but we started a channel chat. I've mentioned it many times in here, but in that channel chat, there are some friends, and I just want to mention right away, there's Gerald at Outpost 76, Steve from Super Still Steve, and of course Kurt, J Cool, G19. You guys are probably my oldest friends here, and you will always be considered my friend, no matter what we do in life, whether it's knives or whatever. I'm just so happy to get to know you guys. Just really cool dudes. So I'm really appreciative of that. And then also we've got a lot of guys in the chat. I mean, not a lot, really, but like Elliott at Sharp Thinking, there's a lot of guys like Justin, Blue Collar Survival, Jack Farmboy. Those guys aren't as present anymore. They're just, busy with life and moving, forward, but they just haven't been as in and out of the chat as much. David at Blade Banner, still there, still present. And then there's some new people. Clint at Alchemy 1. Clint joined later in the year, or maybe like mid-year, like maybe May or something, and Clint has become an integral part of our chat. What happened was, I guess he saw one of my videos, my tool steel videos, because he loves tool steel too. He saw my why I love tool steel video, and he ended up seeing that we had a channel chat going, and he hit Steve up. And Steve was like, yeah, Steve was like, do you want to bring Clint in? I was like, yeah, I mean, it's our chat, it's not mine, but Clint is an awesome guy, and Alchemy 1, his channel, I was watching Alchemy 1 before I even had a channel. So Clint, welcome to our chat, and he's become not only my friend, but also an integral role in our chat. And in the HRC, the whole HRC thing. So thank you, Clint, for being there. Vinny from Nero Knives also entered the chat this year. And, Vinny's always definitely going to be that opinionated guy. And he's very intuitive, very insightful. So Vinny's definitely become, even though he's in and out, he comes and goes a little bit, as you guys well know if you follow Nero. But Vinny's a great guy, so he's been a cool addition to the chat. BJ Hill entered the chat, and BJ's a great guy. I'll talk more about him later. But let's see. And K Knives Switzerland, who's Roman from Case Knives, and Roman's in our chat as well, and he's definitely an awesome addition. He brings so much insight to steels, and it's so cool to be able to go back and forth and talk about different steels and different compositions and what happens at this, and we all test knives and kind of correlate what we're seeing. So it's really awesome to just have all these guys and be able to bounce ideas back and forth, and we have someone that kind of keeps us in check and kind of is honest with us. Everyone in the group is very honest and sometimes a little crude, but you know, we're very honest, and we're also pretty open to ideas. You don't really see too often people arguing in our chat, which is very nice. Sometimes people get a little heated, but hey, we're all very passionate people, so that's just part of it. But thank you guys for letting me be part of it, for being part of it, just for a great year, and I love you guys. But yeah, no, it's been great. It's been a really good year, and I'm also gonna shout out some subs just because you guys are the reason I'm doing this. It's been great. I wouldn't have expected my channel to be where it's at. I'm almost near 2,000 right now, and that's awesome. I kind of expected to hit 2 grand before the end of the year, but things have slowed down in the last month or two. So, but it's all good. This isn't a race for me. I'm not even worried about the number. I'm more worried about the composition, essentially. I'm worried about the people that are following me, not necessarily how many people are following me. We were talking about this the other day in the group chat, but I would rather have 1,000 badass cool subs than have 1 million people that I don't know, don't care, you know. So I really am appreciative of who I have as subs, and those of you that didn't quite line up with my mentality or my way of doing things, you know, it's all good. There's a lot of channels out there, and you know, that's why we have all these choices right now. It's like you can pick and choose what fits you personally. And that's the same goes for the knives, guys. I think sometimes that we forget that. Everyone forgets that. It's like different knives are for different people. That's just how it is, you know. Just like there's different knives for different applications, you know, like chef knives. So here we are, and just some of the subs I want to shout out are going to be the guys that have been around since the beginning. Chris Sabo, I'll bring him up again later, but PGHEDC, I believe, on Instagram. But Chris Sabo has been one of my oldest subs and such a cool guy. A-Ray, Adam, you're awesome, man. Damon, I think it's 0530 or something. Damon, you're awesome. Dom used to be Jovan. He's the one who introduced me to Steve, so I'll always be grateful for that. Merrick Massar, yeah, awesome guy, really cool. Hiker, I forget, Marapiece. Sorry, these are kind of off the cusp a little bit, but off the cuff, not cusp. Shane Miller, another old-time sub. Kark Nilsson, Mark's been around since the beginning, a lot of the inspiration. Kyle, 25 to Knife, thank you so much, dude. Just sent me his Resenti this year, like, holy crap. Thank you, man. John Runyon, who is KME user, as you guys know him on Instagram. John's a great guy, has a lot of great knives, cool guy, and he sent me some knives to check out this year too. Thank you so much, John, and just for being a great sub. I know I'm going to miss a lot of people, so I'm sorry if I miss a bunch of people. Phil, 70 Dodgeman, who I think he's new this year, but Phil, man, he's been awesome, really cool guy. Sent me that new CKF Morph 4 or whatever, I think the older Morph, but sent me that to check out. So thank you guys. Anyone who sent me knives, anyone who's traded, Brian Willis, I believe is his last name. Brian traded me, it's the reason I got my, one of my XM18s. He traded me for this guy, and then of course I had to do my modification touch to it. But yeah, just all my subs. Anyone who's sent me anything, anyone who's, you know, done anything, like, thank you guys. You're the reason I do this, and I really, really wouldn't have done it without all you guys, like, you know, just keeping me going. So I appreciate you, and thanks for a great year, and let's go into 2020, you know, let's see what happens. But yeah, so this year was quite eventful. Like I said, we've gained friends, we've lost friends. I've gained like channel friends. I've lost channel friends. It's been an eventful year. For you guys that didn't see what was going on. I know a lot of it happened on Instagram. A lot of you guys might not be on Instagram, and some of it came through here, but I know, like, the information is not always, like, clear to everybody. Like, sometimes someone will be like, I'll make a reference to something that I feel like everybody saw, and they're like, what are you talking about? And then I have to explain what video it is to go watch, and then the video's already been taken down, you know, like, stuff like that. So it's been an interesting year. There's been, we had a huge HRC controversy, which I couldn't believe was a controversy, guys. It's just fact. HRC matters. It's a number that they use in reference to the hardness of the steel. It definitely matters. And when you look at, you know, obviously there's a lot of other things involved, you know, like the grain structure and all these things are very important, just as important as the HRC, if not more important, okay? But at the same time, HRC definitely matters. And when you have a target range to optimize a certain steel, holding someone to that optimal range and target range doesn't seem like something that should be looked negatively upon, okay? Being held accountable shouldn't be looked negatively upon, in my opinion. It's just absurd. And some of the reactions, some of the people in the community, and the exception, like the people that are just accepting things the way they are, and they just go, well, that's just how it is. And it's like, guys, how is anything ever going to get better if we just brush it under the carpet or just go, oh, that's just how it is? It's just an interesting way of looking at things. So anyways, the controversy, first off, I want to say, you know, you guys well know that I was, you know, at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year, I got the opportunity to talk to, like, the guys from Fair and Forge, the Fair and Forge brothers, or the Fair and Forge sisters, as Steve likes to say. I had, you know, I'd spoken with them a lot. I kind of went back and forth with them, got to discuss different things like steel, HRC, just like where the community's going, and the crazy thought process going on in the community. And then during the HRC controversy, we had Elliott drop a video that it blew my mind, guys. I was extremely disappointed. The way that Elliott acted during that whole HRC thing, probably due to the fact that his Fortis came up extremely low, the one being built by We for them. My Fortis, my knife, came up extremely low, and they fixed the problem, but the reaction, the way that he acted, I lost a lot of respect for the guy. I lost a lot of respect for both of them in a sense, because Chris is, you know, standing behind the camera, egging him on, but it was just a weird approach. It was very hypocritical, very patronizing. It was just a very, very interesting way to go about it. And as a business, it was a mistake, big time. As a person, it was a mistake. You lost all my respect, Elliott. I'm sorry. I still think you're a great knife maker, and I won't hold it against your knives, how you act. But yeah, definitely not going to want to support those guys anymore as much. And then also, like, the whole lion steel thing. Yeah, I'm not going to get into it all, guys. I'm just going to kind of brush over it right now and move on. I do want to give a shout out to some companies that kind of went above and beyond and acted accordingly. Tuya kind of like was, you know, looked at the data and like was like, let's fix it. They wanted to fix the problem. They want to make it right. Hog went above and beyond, sent knives to be tested, like just wanting to find out, just for information's sake, not because they want to like get on the train or anything. They just want to find out the truth. They want to know what's going on with their blade steel. So I appreciate that, and that's where companies should be coming from. Should be from a place of like, if anything, gratitude for us pointing it out to them, showing them what's going on so that they can fix the issue. Manly Knives for, you know, they did the same thing. They took the information Kurt had and went back and tried to fix the problem. Still trying to fix the problem, but they're, you know, they're doing their best. So they're doing due diligence, which is all we can ask, you know. Trying to stand behind your product. Benchmade, you know, Benchmade actually stood behind their product, at least for me. I know that that's a whole different thing with Clint, like the whole thing with that, but for me, they did replace blades that were under. Although I did have I'm not even going to get into it, but they replaced the blades that were under HRC, and that's good. They were standing behind their product. They replaced anything that went bad. So that was nice to see. As you guys well know, I wanted to get into custom knives, as I spoke about in the last year's video, which was an endeavor I met with a lot of disappointment. I did talk about that in a video I just did called Custom Makers, I believe is what it was an On My Mind video. It'll be in that. I do have playlists now, guys. That haven't entered all my videos into the playlist, but I do have playlists. So On My Mind, I have a video about custom makers and my endeavors there. I did manage to grab a knife, one custom knife this year from Roman at Case Knife Switzerland, and this is his Shard, which I'm extremely happy with. It is in my top 5. This is in Vaincron Super Clean. Thank you to Roman for, you know, working with me, because that was a lot of the issue I found in the custom world, is I can't get a custom knife made for me. It's really hard right now. Everyone just wants to make their own art and sell it on Instagram. So it's tough to get someone to make something specifically for you. But I do want to thank Roman, not only for making the knife for me and working with me and being open, you know, still having open mind to people that are not going to screw you and might actually have legitimate things they want to have done to the knife. And then also with me just being happy with the result, not just like, you know, that goes both ways with custom makers and the customer. You know, customers that are like, meh, 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 make custom makers that just want to go, no, I'm not doing any of that. So it goes both ways. I totally get that. But thank you, Roman. And then I also want to say, you know, Triple B, Sean, is doing great things for the community with his steel testing and like pushing the limits with geometry and HRC. So I really love what Sean's doing. Although I wish I could order a custom from Sean, buddy. I wish you would just let me order a knife from you instead of just making knives and putting them on Instagram. Dude, I really love Sean. I'm sorry, Sean. I really want to order a knife from you. I do. And I think you're doing great things, and I've been watching your channel since before I was a channel, so thanks for what you do, man. Other things I want to talk about, I did talk about affiliations last year. I talked about like trying to get into an affiliation with some not manufacturers, distributors, maybe to get you guys a deal, maybe get myself a little bit of a break. And I did actually get a little bit of a partnership this year with River's Edge Cutlery. They got me this knife. They got me a few different knives. Helped me out. You know, I didn't get anything free. I got some discount just to give them like a shout out, you know, on a video and stuff. But nothing like, oh, you have to give a good review or anything like that. It was really open. But at the same time, there's just a little bit of thing, like I just don't quite line up with that mentality of like, give me a discount on my knife and I'll give you a shout out, even though it's still kind of pure, like, because I'm not having to give a positive review necessarily. I still feel like there's some tension there, and I don't love that feeling. I really don't. I don't love any time someone's giving me something for free and expecting something. It just gets cloudy, guys, and it just I don't love the idea of anyone giving me anything free, for one. Like, I know that there's always something, but you know, when it is like open, like, hey, I'm really legitimately looking for your thoughts on this, and I want a critical feedback, that's different. If a company wants to send me something to check out, give them feedback, and give an honest review, then bring it, guys. I'm down. But I'm not gonna sugarcoat shit. I'm gonna give these guys, I'm gonna give you guys the full story. I'm not sugarcoating shit for anybody. So, I do sugarcoat. I honestly do. You're getting a PG version of Kenny for damn sure. But, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That's for damn sure. So, REC, River's Edge Cutlery, thank you so much for working with me. Brian, River's Edge Cutlery it's a small family-owned business in Ohio. They are just a little shop, and they're just so customer service orientated and just so cool. So thank you guys for what you do. And I know there are a lot of shops out there like them, but I wish there were more. I wish there was one here, you know, that I could work with, or at least go buy knives. But yeah, it's really cool to see what River's Edge Cutlery did. I'm so happy to them, but I don't know if I'm gonna continue trying to get discounts from them. For one, they're a small business, so they don't get a lot of like new knives. They don't get like a big batch and then they can just let me get one for a little discount. It's kind of like they only get 4 and they need to sell those at full price just to keep the shop running and keep going. So I couldn't get the new knives coming, and it was hard to, it just becomes a struggle. And then I'm like, send him a list of things I'm looking for. He's like, oh, I can't get any of that right now. And then he forgets, and then I don't. It just becomes a different, you know, don't think it's going to continue. I don't think it's going to necessarily work out, even though I'm very grateful for them working with me for the time they did. But I have had a few subs ask me about doing a Patreon. And if you guys are into that, if you think that's a good idea for me, let me know. I'm not, like I said before, I'm not really into like people giving me things necessarily. But I can't continue, you know, and some knives, like these cheaper knives, I'm saving my money for knives that I really want, you know, that might not be in your guys' range. I'm really like getting into like more upper end knives, and this requires like saving money, buying a knife like this, and then this is like, you know, 4 of these, so it makes it harder for me to get these little ones sometimes because I'm saving for a big one. So maybe the Patreon would help me to get some little knives that could, you know, help get those reviews out. So thinking about that, the Patreon, I think it would be just, honestly, I wouldn't be asking anybody to join or anything, but for the guys that do want to help support the channel, you've been around and you want to help me, I should do it, you know, I really should. But again, Patreon, they take money off the top. So do I start maybe a PayPal specifically? Anyone can just put money into that PayPal, and then that's how that works? I don't know. Let me know, guys, please. Give me your opinions. But yeah, thank you, REC, for working with me, and that was really cool to get, you know, a business that was willing to work with me. So moving on, Apex Pass Around Group, I got to join that this year. That was really cool. It helped me get in hand knives that I would have not necessarily even looked at. So that was really cool. Thank you, David from Blade Banner, for probably fighting for me to get in there. I know Stasa23, Stasa, Nick definitely knew me. He subbed to me when I had like 20 subs. So I don't know if Nick finally thought I was getting better, good enough to get in the Apex or what, but yeah, thank you for letting me in, and it's been a joy to be in the Apex. Just even though I haven't got a lot of knives from it, it's for one, opened my eyes to a few that I've already got, and then it opened my eyes to things I maybe not would have looked at before. So that's cool. And thank you for letting me be part of it. Okay, so I did get into some things this year. There's some products that I would have otherwise not probably looked into, but I had one of my subs, actually one of the other channels, and you guys all know him. He's a much bigger channel than me, actually, but Instagram and YouTube. But Daddy-O EDC, Mason, sent me this guy. This is a Mighty Hank's little hanky mini. I think they call him Mighty Mini or something. This is a really cool hanky with microfiber on the inside. Daddy-O Mason sent me this when I bought, I got this mass drop light off him, and he sent me this to check out because I think he knew I wasn't really a hanky guy, so he sent me this, and guys, I'm not a hank, you know, I was never a hanky person. My grandpa carried a hanky, and it was a huge piece of cloth that he blew his nose into and stuffed it back in his pocket. So pretty gross in my opinion at times, but hankies are a different thing nowadays. This is very small, fits very easily in the back pocket, and I don't necessarily blow my nose in it unless it's a emergency, and if I do, I would blow it like maybe on this surface and then, you know, close the other surface, and you know which side's which. So that's a nice thing. And then I threw it in my back pocket, honestly, and I just forgot about it. Like, I didn't even notice this little thing in my back pocket, and when I needed it, it was there, whether I needed to clean my glasses or my knife or whatever. And it's actually grown on me, and I ended up having a sub send me one. That was Chris. Chris Sabo sent me this hanky. This is a Scar hanky, and it's big for my taste. You know, it's really big, but it's really cool. I like the patterns and everything. Really cool, and it also just solidified my like hanky. Like, okay, I think I can do this now, and it just kind of got me going on that. So thank you, Chris. And then what ended up happening was, I think Sean, I'll talk more about Sean in a second, but I think Sean from Gear Towards Gear, or maybe it was Jack Farm Boy, said something on his channel, and I saw something about Shadowborn Hanks. So I ended up like following them on Instagram, and I saw one come up on his, I think it was this one that came up on his feed, and I was like, oh dude, I love that. And I hit him up and I said, hey, I want to grab that Star Wars Hank. And he was like, Kenny, dude, I love your channel. I've been subbed to you for a long time. On Instagram, it's Shadowborn Hanks, like Shadow_born_Hanks. On YouTube, it's JD Shadow. And JD's been a sub of mine for a long time. And he was like, dude, I love your channel. You're doing great stuff. That's awesome. I'll send you some extra things in there. And I'm like, what? You don't have to do that. He was like, no, it's okay. Out of the kindness of his heart, he sent me like, I think I ordered 2. He sent me like 4 or something. It was like out of control. And thank you so much, JD. He didn't want anything in return either. He didn't need a shout out or anything. It was just out of the kindness of his heart. He wanted to help support the channel. It was amazing. So thank you, JD, and it was reciprocated or followed by me purchasing a ton of hankies. I've gotten a ton, and I bought some for other people. I do have some for something else that you guys will see coming up. We got Deadpool, a bunch of Star Wars. You guys know I love Star Wars. And then that turned into something else. I had Kurt and his lovely wife, Beth. Beth surprised me with this. Kurt sent this in a box with some of the knives I had sent him. This was right around Halloween, obviously. We got Snoopy and Trick or Treat. So, yeah, thank you so much to Beth. And there was something else Beth sent me that was really cool as well. I didn't bring that out for this video. And then Kurt hooked me up with this guy this year. This has my ugly mug on it, and in the pocket on the back side. Thank you, Kurt. This is a Tucson. I forget what number it is. These things all have crazy numbers, but it's actually a really cool knife. I'll never use it because of that. But thank you, Kurt. So awesome. I can't remember if that was on the last year one or not, but thank you so much, dude. And thank you, Beth, for what you've been doing. She has her Hanks now, too, on Instagram. She's selling those, so go check her out. I forget what her Instagram page is. I might add that. There's a lot to add here, guys, so I don't think I'm going to be adding everybody, but in the description and stuff. Okay, so in saying that, what happened from there, you guys know I wanted to make a channel logo last year. I've been wanting to make a channel logo, but just other stuff has, the content is more important to me than a logo, guys, or the production quality. The content is the most important thing. So yeah, I mentioned something to Sean from Gear Towards Gear about, like, I think he did a logo for JD, and and then I was like, dude, that's awesome. How did you do that? Like, or I didn't know you did that. And then I had said that I had been looking to make a logo, but I just never got to it. And Sean was like, oh, I can help you out. And I was like, okay, I'll let you know when I figure something out. Or 20 minutes later, Sean sends me a text, or sends me a picture message of a logo he made for me. And it was pretty simplistic and very, you know, it wasn't like the cleanest thing or anything, but it was a great logo. And I cannot be more appreciative to you, Sean, for what you did. It also lit a fire, because what ended up happening was Dave Martell, who's one of the guys I wanted to shout out as one of my subs. Dave's been a sub for a long time, and he's always, you know, part of the conversation and just always commenting and stuff. But Dave, we ended up like talking more on Instagram now, because he got on Instagram and we started chatting. But Dave's a really nice guy, doing a lot of things for the community that you don't even see. He's in the background. But he ended up seeing that logo and was like, hey, I helped Sean with his. Do you want me to help you kind of refine this logo? And I was like, dude, yeah, hell yeah. And he has actually a partner there, non-disclosed, that can't let you know who that is, but Dave has someone helping him who is like a graphic designer, and they helped me, and between me and Dave and them, trying to correlate what I wanted and what I wanted to do, made my logo. And you'll see it in that little insignia, the little circle thing. You'll see my little symbol, although you can't see it well. And then what happened was, I'll have stickers coming, guys. I'm gonna have them made for sure. And then what happened was, Sean, I don't know who initiated it, but Sean went and got my logo, sent it over to JD, and JD, those guys surprised me with this on Christmas. I came home from out of town, and JD had this screen printed on a Hank, and a pretty badass Hank at that. And there's his new little logo. So you guys surprised the hell out of me with this one, and thank you so much. Sean, thank you so much for getting the initial logo started, and Dave and his partner, thank you guys so much for what you did. It fits me for sure, man. It's me, and I can't ask for more. So, and thank you to all of you guys for anything you did. But it's just been awesome. Really love the Hanks. So, yeah, another endeavor I got into. I learned about this guy, I think, through Instagram. I think it was Jack Farmboy who introduced me to this guy, or maybe it was Sean. I can't remember who introduced me to Ryan, but Ryan from RG2 Leatherworks, he makes some amazing stuff, really, really nice leather, and just quality work, craftsmanship. But this is a belt slip for a pair of 3. You can also fit like a domino. Thank you, Chris, for letting me get a hold of your domino this year, which made me buy one. But fits nicely in there too, or anything that size will fit nicely. And then, oh, thank you, Chris, for that clip too. You guys are so awesome. This is such an awesome community. But this is the slip for the S1R, the Baton 2, and this also fits right here. Really, really nice slip, and so well done. This one, man, this one just disappears on my hip. I don't even notice it's there. And I just put the side right there in the corner, and it never seems to push or anything in my pocket. Take the clip off, and you have this lanyard. It makes it really nice, and you don't have the lens sticking up so it can get damaged. But beautiful work, Ryan. Thank you for working with me, making these custom for me, and then just being an awesome guy, man. Really cool to talk to. I've given him feedback now, and it's just nice to be able to bounce back and forth with him. All right, so where am I at? A lot to talk about, guys. It's already at 35 minutes, so I'm sorry. So I've got new channel friends. I know I'm gonna miss people because so many new friends this year, but Patty from Patty's Potato Peelers. Been watching Patty for a long time and always respected Patty, but we never really got to chat. And this year, I've really got to know Patty a little better, and just such a cool guy from Ireland, and just such a genuine dude. I really like Patty. So Patty, really good to get to know you. JT from JT's Knife Life, as you guys well know, he's one of my inspirations. JT is a cool guy, and it's been a joy to kind of get to know him a little bit better this year. He knows I exist now, and really cool to kind of chat back and forth with JT. Such a nice guy, and just very genuine, and he just really loves knives like us all, and just really cool. So, of course, Sean from Geared Towards Gear. Go check his channel out. He's blowing up, much larger than I am now, but and probably a little bit more friendly. I don't know. He's just a really nice guy. I can be kind of negative sometimes, I guess. But anyways, Zach from Zach Stuff. Really cool to get to know you too, Zach. Just a genuine guy as well. Really cool guy from Oregon, like I think Portland area, but really nice guy and doing great things. You know, just really genuine. So really, he's a huge Benchmade fan. So I kind of get my Benchmade like stuff, you know, like I get to see all that from him. But he helped me out actually when I wasn't, like, I forget, I had some weird like miscommunication with Benchmade or something, and I was like, what's going on here? And I hit Zach up, and Zach was like, oh, I can help you, and he figured it out. So Zach is just such a nice guy. Thank you, man. And yeah, so a lot of cool new friends. And then we lost a few. Ryan from Banner 24/7, he got a new job, and he's been super busy with that and his family. So we haven't got to see Ryan a lot. I know a lot of guys ask me about Ryan. He's all good. Everything's good. I did get to I text back and forth with him. He seemed like he was all good. So he's, you know, happy and moving on. But I don't know if he's going to come back. Hopefully we'll see him again. But either way, you know, I'm always here, man. We'll always, you know, I'll always be open to talk or whatever. But yeah, it's you know, it's just how life is sometimes. Same thing with Justin from Blue Collar Survival. Really cool guy and great channel, but you know, life happens, and he's had a lot of other things going on, and he's changing like his health and all that. So hey, more power to you, man. And hopefully one day he finds time for this as well. If not, I'm here, man, whatever. If you want to talk about anything else, it doesn't matter. But this is really just a way to meet people. It's not like necessarily like, okay, now it's only if you like knives can we be friends, or whatever, if you want to talk about knives. But and saying that, yeah, hopefully he comes back around. If not, you know, it's all good. Yeah, and then I'm going to talk about new channels. Some new channels. There's so many new channels, guys. I'm not going to mention them all. Not even close. It's unbelievable how many, like, newer channels that are kind of, like, doing things different. A lot, like, I feel like our movement, like where we started, where like me and Steve and like a lot of other channels are the same size, even like Gerald and stuff. He's a little older than me, but we're all kind of in that same pack of people. Big Red EDC, JB, I almost forgot to mention you, buddy. JB's awesome, really cool guy. I knew I was gonna mention some people that are super important, but JB's super cool. And Big Red EDC, if you guys don't know who that is, which I'm surprised if you watch my channel and don't, but go check out JB. So there's a lot of new channels, and including like ones that were my subs, like for instance John, I Heart Knives. It's a cool sub. We'd go back and forth, we'd talk about shit, and then all of a sudden he's got a channel, and it's really good. He's got really good content. It's not, you know, like he's kind of smooth with his talk, so it's not like boo 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 flashy, but he's just straight up, and he's very informative, very intuitive. So go check out John at I Heart Knives if you haven't already. Bama Knife Guy Lee, such a nice guy, just genuine, and kind of has the same kind of sense of humor and same same kind of person as me. I feel like, just from different, you know, brother from a different mother type of thing. Steve actually introduced me to him because Steve was like, you guys are like one of a kind. So yeah, or two of a kind, whatever. But yeah, really cool, man. Getting to know Lee has been cool. Go check out Bama Knife Guy. Big Boy EDC, I believe is what it is. Scott's a cool guy. Yeah, Alex Knifebox, another one you got to go check out. He has a podcast with Tom Hosang's Outdoor, and they have like Gerald and Steve on there every week. Thomas Hosang, dude, if you guys don't know who Tom is, he's doing some great cut testing as well. Him and Gerald and Steve and BJ have just been busting out. I mean, you guys don't even realize how much time and effort goes into those cut tests. Everyone should go give those guys a follow if you don't follow them already. They are doing great stuff. And those cut tests, it's what it's all based on. You know, the HRC testing, everything, it all comes down to the cut testing. That's where it's all at. So thank you guys for what you do. Tom, if you don't know who Tom Hosang is, please guys go check out his channel. Young guy who's just already pushing and doing some really cool stuff. His steel talks are great. What I would love to do if I had a little more time and didn't do all these reviews, but I know the reviews are important too, guys like me doing reviews. So anyways, go check out Tom Hosang, Alex. J Cool G19 has a channel now. Go check out Kurt's channel. He's just doing the testing straight up. You get to watch it as he's doing it. It's awesome. BJ Hill. BJ is an awesome guy. He also does cut testing, and he has a channel now. He does just really cool stuff. He's always testing steels and pushing limits and fucking batoning through ice and shit. You guys gotta look at the time. I gotta get out of here soon. Yeah, go check him out, guys. Really cool. Just so many good things out there right now, and I know I didn't mention a bunch of channels that I should. Neves Knives, they have a channel now, and God, there's just so many out there. So just look around, guys, you'll see it. A lot of these other channels are shouting out the other channels, so you'll see that. But this year I do want to go to Blade Show, guys. That's the goal. I want to go to Blade Show and not only get to see a lot of these makers, see a lot of knives that I couldn't get my hands on, check out what's new for the year, but also to get to meet all my friends. All my friends that I've not met, I want to meet. I want to come face to face with all these people because it's crazy to have such, I'm not really a computer guy, and to have all these friends that I've never even met is just, it's wild. So looking forward to that. But if I don't see you at Blade, thank you guys for everything, and I look forward to 2020 and seeing where it takes us. But have a great day, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one.